Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is your retired happy friend from Mississippi, and my name is Carolyn. So I'm so glad you came back to visit with me today. You'll be seeing this on Wednesday. So today we're going to make the pimento cheese, and that is wonderful for sandwiches, crackers, any get-together that you have in the summertime. Goes along with chicken salad sandwiches and pimento cheese sandwiches. It's a real southern thing. So I'm also going to add another little cooking thing. Tomorrow we're having our community 4th of July party, so I'm making corn salad to take. So I'm going to show you how I make my corn salad to take to the get-together tomorrow. And then after the recipes, we're going to do a little watercolor. And these are the watercolor gift bags. I had shown you this one earlier, and I had a lot of requests to do the watercolor. So these are the produce bags, the brown paper bags I get at the produce stand. And when I get home, I fold them down flat and keep them, and now I'm repurposing them to make gift bags out of them. So what I'm gonna do when I get ready to give it to somebody, I'll put my jar of jam or pickles or relish or cake or whatever I'm giving. I'm going to put a little gripper because I'm making up several grippers. I'm also making up a lot of the quilted heart thank you cards or note cards. So I'll put that in here. Then I will fold down the top, punch some holes, 2 holes in the top, and put some decorative ribbon through it. And this will be my gift bag. And I do initial it, and on the bottom I always write John 3:16 on the bottom of my little bags. So I hope you like that demonstration. It's going to be fall soon, so you know, this is July and it is ticking on by. So today I want to extend all of my prayers, my concerns. Everybody in the whole country, their heart is heavy with the tragedy that's unfolding in Texas, and all the situation there with the flooding is just unbelievable, and a tragedy that I don't think, in my heart, I don't think there was anything man could have done to have prevented it. It was something that, an event that happened that was not predicted, and my heart goes out to all the families and everyone who has lost a family member, a dear precious child, or a dear precious family member, or for even a friend or an acquaintance in that tragedy. So I know it's heavy on the heart of all of us around here, so I do want to extend my prayers, my thoughts, my concerns. And my thankful for today is just thankful for what we have that we take for granted every day. And so I said on the video Monday, hug your family, hug your children a little bit tighter tonight, and let's don't ever take for granted what we have that we can use every day, because it can be gone in the blink of an eye. So my good word for today is that our God is a God of comfort. He is a God of strength, and in time of trouble, He will be there with us. So we have to cling to that hope and have faith and cling to His promises that through Him we will get through the situation, because He told us in this life we will have trials and tribulations, but He will be with us to go through them, that we don't stay there in it, but we go through them, and He'll be there to get us through them. So I hope you enjoyed today, and I want to thank all of you who made such sweet, thoughtful comments about my granddaughter learning to use her new sewing machine. She was very, very happy and excited to get home and try it out and make a pillowcase for her little 2-year-old son, and hopefully for them, I hope she'll have a lifetime of enjoyment from it. So let's get started, and we'll make some pimento cheese, corn salad, and paint some gift bags. Now today I'm making the pimento cheese. We've had a request for that, and that is a typical southern sandwich dish here in Mississippi. So It's really very simple, and there are many recipes, many ways of making pimento cheese. So I'm going to show you the way I do it, and then you can adjust it according to your taste. So the ingredients on the way I'm going to make it today, I'm going to use the grated cheddar cheese. This happens to be Colby cheese, but you can use sharp cheddar, you can use mild cheddar, you can even use American cheese. A lot of people like to use Velveeta, but this is what I'm using. I'm going to use cream cheese. I've set out on the counter and let it soften. And I'm going to make a small amount because it's just for me. So you can adjust the amounts, just increase the amount of everything you use if you're making it for a big crowd. Now, traditionally in the South, when we have a party or a shower, we'll have the chicken salad sandwiches on whole wheat bread, and then cut the crust off and cut the little sandwiches into strips. Usually I get 3 strips per sandwich. And then I make the pimento cheese sandwiches on white bread, cut the crust off, and then sometimes I'll cut it in a triangle. So I have 4 little triangle sandwiches per sandwich. So that's just a nice way to serve it and to have something different. So we have the cheddar cheese, the cream cheese. I have 1 jar of diced pimento. This is a 4-ounce jar, and if I was making a whole 8-ounce block of cheddar cheese, I would need this whole amount, but I probably won't use all of that. I'll see as I go. And then I like mayonnaise, so I'm going to use mayonnaise. This is the brand of mayonnaise I prefer, so you can use whichever brand of mayonnaise you prefer. Now, a lot of the store-bought pimento cheese, Ms. Weaver's, Stratton's, some of the other that's commercially made, uses, if you like Miracle Whip, use Miracle Whip, or salad dressing as they call it in the jar. So we'll get started. I'm going to grate my cheddar cheese and we'll mix it up. I have the cream cheese in the bowl and I've stirred it. It's soft, so I'm going to leave it in the bowl. I'm grating my cheddar cheese, and then I'm going to stir the cream cheese and the cheddar cheese together just to blend it before I start adding the mayonnaise. And I think that's going to be enough. I'm going to save that little piece of cheese, maybe to make some cheese toast, or I'll tell you, next week I'm going to make the squash patties made with the yellow summer squash. So if any of you are interested in how to make the squash patties, are really good. There's so many ways to fix summer squash. And I use the yellow. They used to call it crookneck, but now most of what I'm getting at the produce market is not a crookneck. It's a straight neck squash, but it is still the yellow summer squash. Okay, so there's the cheese. I'm going to go ahead and get the cream cheese. So I'm going to just mix that up real well. And this is so quick and easy. And it does have mayonnaise in it, so if you're serving it outside or having a summer picnic, anything that has mayonnaise in it, you cannot leave it out in the heat for a long time. Now I'm going to add, I don't use a whole lot, but I do like to add the crushed red pepper, and it just gives it a little zing. And I also like the cayenne pepper. So this is the red cayenne pepper, and a lot of people don't use this, so my recipe might vary a little bit with that, but I just like it, and it helps to give my pimento cheese a little bit more zip, a little bit more flavor. And then this is the garlic powder. I'm going to just sprinkle some of that in. And now mix that all up. And this is also really good on crackers. If you have Ritz crackers or saltine crackers, it makes a really good snack. And now the pimento. I'm going to start with half the pimento and see if that's enough. I'm going to save the other half of the jar to put in my corn salad. So let's see how it goes. Yes, this will be plenty. I don't really want the juice in my corn salad, so I'm going to put more of the juice in here. Okay, now I think this is going to take, okay friends, the pimento cheese is made. All I'm going to do now is just stir it up, and then I'll put the lid on it and set it in the refrigerator. So that's all we have to do. Pimento cheese is quick, easy, and you can vary it according to what your preference is and your taste, what your family, and just experiment with it if you've never made it before, but most people have. So there we go. Pimento cheese 101. Now I'm ready to make the corn salad, so I have 3 cans of sweet white whole kernel corn. So I have it open. I'm going to go ahead and drain all the juice off of it. And this is a really good salad. It is colorful. The ingredients are going to be the 3 cans of corn, some diced pimento, and then little chopped green onions. So I chopped them really fine. And I only used maybe for this, for just these onions are pretty good size. So I think I will just use 1 onion this size. I don't want the flavor really strong. And I won't put the onion in until tomorrow morning and let that marinate. So I'm not going to put this in today. It will sit too long, and in my opinion, it will get too strong an onion flavor. But since it's so colorful, it has the red pimento and the green onion, and I have made it a lot of times for Christmas dinner and Christmas get-togethers because it's just really pretty and colorful, and everybody likes it. It's not a casserole where it has a lot of ingredients in it that people don't know what it is, but they know this is corn. And I'm going to put it in my mixing bowl, and then tomorrow morning before the party, I'll put it in my pretty cut glass serving bowl. And this is about the only recipe that I do use the classic whip. Now this is Kroger brand Miracle Whip. So I don't get the Miracle Whip, but I get the Kroger brand. But I use the Miracle Whip, or the Kroger brand whip dressing as it's called, in my slaw, in my corn salad, and in my broccoli slaw. So there again, it just depends on your taste and what you like, and from years of cooking and experimenting with it. Now if I have any pimento left, I will go back and add that to my pimento cheese. See how pretty that's getting? And when I get the green onion in, it's going to be really pretty. So this is very simple. This is all the ingredients in it. The whole kernel corn, the Miracle Whip, and some diced pimento. And it makes a very, very popular salad. I usually don't have any to bring home, which is good. When I go to a party or an event like that, I don't really want to bring any home. I want everybody to eat it all, and then I don't have to bring it home and have it for 2 or 3 days. So there you go. Tomorrow morning I will check and see there's a corn silk that didn't get caught. But I will check this tomorrow morning before the party, and if I think it needs any more salad dressing in it, then I'll add it at that time. And I think that's plenty of pimento. You can see it, it's making a good color. And then tomorrow when I get the green onion added to it, it's going to be really pretty. So I hope you like that. I'm going to put the lid on this now and set it in the refrigerator and let it just sit there and marinate and let the flavors all mingle together. And then we're moving to the studio, and we're now going over to watercolor the little brown produce bags for gift bags. We're going to watercolor some gift bags. Now these are the little brown produce bags that I get at the produce center when I go buy my vegetables. And I have been saving them instead of throwing them away. I fold them down and I save them in my garage. And I said, well, you know, I might use those. Well, I came up with this idea of using them for gift bags. So that's what we're going to do today. So on the one that I showed earlier that I had done, this is just watercolor. It's on my little brown produce bag, and I will use this for a gift bag when I'm getting ready to put my jam or a cake that I'm baking. You can put a gripper, some of your homemade products. You can put a pot holder in here, whatever you'd like to do to give to someone. And you put it in your gift bag, and then you just fold down the top, use your hole puncher to punch 2 holes and run ribbon through it and tie a pretty colorful ribbon. So the one I'm going to do today won't be exactly like that one, but here we go. This is just a really, really good way that I've come up with to repurpose some of my produce bags. So I have my watercolor. I've already put some water in my red, and I'm going to start on this gift bag and make some red flowers. And I may change it up and add some yellow ones over here on the side. It's going to be simple. It's not going to be a whole lot to it, and it is super easy. You won't believe how easy it is. So what I'm using is just my basic watercolor set. This is nothing fancy, nothing expensive, and I don't even know what brand this is because there's nothing on it anywhere. No name, no claim. No name, no blame, they say. Okay, so I know it was not a very expensive watercolor set, but there we go. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have fun. So this is a number 9, and this says artist brush. I know they're water, but I think any watercolor artist brush will do. You don't have to have a certain kind, but this is a number 9. So I have my watercolor wet. I have put it on my little palette here. Roll your brush around in your watercolor. So now what I'm going to do is very, very easy, very, very simple. So I'm going to come down a little bit farther than I did on my first one because I found out I wanted more room at the top to fold it down. So I'm going to come down about halfway, put the tip down, and lift up. Put the tip down and lift up. Okay, see how easy that is? Now I really don't want it any wider than that. So one thing is just to make sure that the brush is well loaded with the paint. So now I'm going to go back in. Now one thing to keep in mind is these brown paper bags they absorb the watercolor differently than a watercolor paper. So you will not get the same effect on a brown paper bag that you do with your watercolor paper. So that's something to keep in mind if you're expecting the same results that you get with your watercolor paper. So there we go. Isn't that neat? I just think that is so pretty and unique. Okay, so now I'm going to get a paper towel. Okay, so now for the center of the flower, I think I will go with this kind of burnt orange, and I have no idea what the names of the paint is because I showed you what I have. I have no guide, I have no color swatch or anything. So I'm just picking the colors that I want. So I'm going to now go into the center and make the center of my flower. And it's okay if it runs into the petal. You know, that's okay. No problemo, as they say. Okay, now at the bottom, just to be doing, I'm going to make another small flower. And this you just create as you go. Believe me, there is no rhyme or reason. You cannot mess it up. You can't do the wrong thing because it's whatever you do and you create. So now I need some stems. So I'm going to go in with the green. And I don't really clean my palette after I paint. I leave my colors on there. And then the next time I come in to paint, it's all ready. So now I'm going to come in and make some stems. So I'm going to go from the flower down, from the flower down, and the flower down. I'm going to make some leaves the same way I made the petals. Put your brush down and make your leaves. Isn't that just the neatest thing? So simple, so easy. Now I'm going to let it dry and then come back. I usually put in a few little grass sprigs. Okay, now that's all I'm going to do on that one right now. So I'm going to let it sit over, move it to the back, and let it dry. And now I'm going to get another one. Now you can make sunflowers like this. Fall is coming up. We're going to have pumpkins, and just for the fun of it, let's just do a pumpkin on this one because we do have fall coming up. So I'm going to go into the orange. And on this one, and I'm just ad-libbing as I go. I had no plans at all when I started. So now let's go up here and let's make a sunflower. I have a neighbor who has some sunflowers growing in her flower bed, and some of them are bright yellow and some of them are orange color, and they are just so pretty. I have to stop and look at them every time I go by her house because they keep changing every day. So you see there's no rhyme or reason to this watercolor. But with this number 10, you can just put your put your paintbrush down and lift it up. So this is a sample. Always have a good sample, a scrap of paper handy when you're watercoloring so you can try out your colors. But this is a number 9. If you have a number 10 brush, it will probably work even better. But just put your brush down and lift it. And I have a little bit more water on that than I wanted, but this is watercolor paper. So you see how the paint will stay on the tip of it, how pretty that is. What a pretty effect. Okay, now I'm going to come back in with, let's see, I think some of this dark brown for the center of that flower, because that one I want it to look like a sunflower. So I'm going to put some paint right in there, and I wanted it to run, so that's doing good. Okay, and now I'm going to come in and add some more dimension to my pumpkin. And put a little bit of outline on it. Okay, that one's running up under the seam of my bag, which I really didn't want that to happen, but it did, so there you go. So that one has a little bit much. I'm going to go in with my dry brush and lift some of that paint off. Okay, now let's take some green. I'm going to get a little darker green since this is fall painting. And the stem of the flowers is smaller at the top and bigger at the bottom. So let's turn it around. And make the stem big at the bottom and come up at the top. Big at the bottom and come up. Okay. And we're going to put some leaves on it. So just press down and lift up with your paint to make your leaves. Now let's put a stem on the pumpkin. Okay. And I want some grass. Okay, this one I think needs a little bit more attention, so I'm going to go back in on the yellow that I had and put some more yellow in on that one. So when it's your flower, you can make it however you want it. Okay, I like that better. That was good. All right. Now I'm going to do another green. So let's see. Let's see how this green looks on it. Dab a little bit of the water off. Well, that's still not the green I want, so let's get a little darker. Okay, that's better. I want more of a fall green. And when I'm using watercolor paper, I really do this a lot more than I'm going to do on this paper bag, but I go in with another color and another color just to add dimension to my paint. And you can just play around with it. And let's see about some more grass under the pumpkin. A lot of pumpkins have kind of some green on them, so let's see how that does. Because we're just playing here. We're just having fun. We're not entering any contest. We're not entering any kind of art show. We're just playing for fun. If you don't have fun with it, you don't need to be doing it. Okay, I like that. I'm going to stop right there. And let's see if the first bag is dry. I'll set this one over to the side and let it dry. And I think I showed you on the last video about my stamp. So I love my butterfly stamp. So let's take my stamp, and this is my butterfly stamp, and this is my archival watercolor pad. It's permanent, waterproof. It's made by Ranger. I got this at Hobby Lobby. Okay, so I'm going to take my butterfly and let's put it right there. Okay, I like that. All right, let's get the other one. Put that one back over there. So let's put a butterfly on that one. Okay, now I got this set also. So I think I'm going to take the Thinking of You stamp, and I'm going to stamp Thinking of You right there at the top. Thinking of You. All right. And then right there on that one. Now I could also use on this little package of stamps that has happy birthday, just for you, get well soon, thank you, congratulations, with love. So that should fit any occasion I need to make a little gift bag for. And I don't have to do that little extra. I just saw those and I thought it was a good idea. So now I'm ready to finish my gift bags, and I will show you what I do. And if you like it, you can do it. If you don't like it, then leave it off. But I like to come back in with a pen, and this is just my regular ballpoint pen. I have found a fine pen that I really like, so I keep this one on my painting table. So this was the first one I did. It's the most dry. So I'm going to come back in now and outline my flower. Well, it's still a little bit damp, so it could stand to dry a little bit more. And I also have this is an ultra fine Sharpie. So let's see how that does. Put the seeds in there. Okay. That is generally the shape I make my leaves when I'm drawing my leaves. Okay. And on all of my bags, the seam is right here on the top. I don't know why they didn't make the solid this side, but that's probably just the way the factory makes the bags. So what do y'all think? Okay, now this is my finer pen, so now I'm going to come back in and put some, well, it's my ballpoint pen. It's not quite as dark as the Sharpie pen. And sometimes I have used just my pencil. And those of you who are more creative than I am, you will be able to make yours look better. This is just ad lib playing right now, so you know, and usually when I'm on camera, things don't go as well as they do when I'm not on camera. But when I start out a project, I never know how it's going to end. So I think I'm going to leave that one right now. Now usually I can set it aside, and then when I come back and look at it again, I'll have a fresh look at it, and I will usually add some more to it. So let's see what we can do with Mr. Pumpkin over here. Okay, and I guess you're beginning to get the idea on things that you can do. Okay. And if you want your petals round, you can make them round. If you want them pointy on the end, you can make them pointy on the end, which I think Those sunflowers are more pointy on the end. So I also found I'm sorry, I was trying to decide how I was going to make that leaf shape. I also have found these are some iridescent watercolors, and I use these iridescent watercolors if I'm making a dragonfly or a butterfly, and I put some of the iridescent on the butterfly and the dragonfly wings. That I really like the effect of that. So we are getting a really, really nice afternoon shower today. This is July the 7th, and you will be watching this on Wednesday. And I appreciate all of the comments and remarks that you made on my granddaughter learning to use her new sewing machine. That was such a fun afternoon and such a fun day, and she was just so excited because she had been wanting a sewing machine. And when I told her I had one for her, she was just so excited. So I'm anxious to see what she sews first. I'm going to send her the pattern to the pillowcase, and next week Hobby Lobby has the fabric on sale, 40% off. So I'm going to let her know she does have a Hobby Lobby close to her house, so she can go check on Hobby Lobby and get some fabric to make them some pillowcases. That was what she was excited about doing first, was making some pillowcases. So, okay, what do y'all think about the flowers? Now, when I get through, and this is just me, so you customize yours, but when I get through, I always put my initial at the bottom, and then along the stem or somewhere, I always put J-O-H in John 3:16. So there is that one. Now I left enough room at the top that I can fold it down, punch the holes in it, and run some ribbon through when I'm ready to repurpose it and use it for a gift bag. And this one I did too. So there is that one. And I think actually I like that other one better than I do this one. So I don't know. Every one of them turns out different, I promise you. And it helps also to just do a little bit, because I have found out just by practicing and doing it that the more I practice on it, the better I like the results. So I usually like it better after I have done a few. So I don't know if you can see on the camera, but as I outline it, it helps to define it helps to give the the flower or the painting, the picture, a little bit more definition. So I like that look. If you like it, then you can try it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and finish this one up and put my initials at the bottom, and then John, John 3:16. Okay, so that is 2 bags. Now, if you want some other ideas on watercolor, then all you have to do is go to Mr. YouTube, and there are so many artists on there. And this particular one that I was kind of following today is Liesls, Liesl's Artistic Studio Watercolor. And I follow a lot of the tutorials that are on YouTube, and I just keep practicing and developing, and then use my own style. So let me know in the comments, please, what you do and what you decide to do with your watercolor. And I hope you enjoyed this little practice session. I will be doing some more gift bags in the near future, and especially with fall coming on. I love sunflowers and pumpkins and just the fall trend, and the fall season. So let me know what you think, and I will see you back on the next video. There's Mr. Bluebird sitting up on the roof of the house. He's sitting up there chirping away. He just came from my bluebird house. Mr. Hawk is sitting up in the tree. He's watching us down here as we walk. I wonder what he's thinking. And I hear the bluebird up in the tree chirping away. The little bluebird has gone from one house to another housetop. Maisie, are you ready to go home? You look like you've gotten hot. It's always muggy after a rain. The temperature is not that hot, but it's just muggy. Come on, Maisie, let's go home. Come on, let's go home.